everyone, and welcome to this very special Easter weekend vlog. It's been absolutely ages since I did a kind of cozy at-home vlog with you, but I thought I've got the long weekend and why not settle in, chat with you about some of my projects and kind of update you about what I have been up to. Now, I haven't done a monthly roundup for a while, just because I've been working on several projects, as usual, on sort of 3mm needles, teensy tiny needles, so it's been difficult to make much progress on these projects. However, I do have a couple of exciting bits to share with you, including a little bag that I am designing for the summer. For me, Easter really kind of means one thing. I mean, Easter is quite a big deal here in Italy, and you see the shops absolutely stuffed full with all sorts of goodies and chocolates and cakes and loveliness. And for me, that is what Easter is. Eating loads and loads and loads of columba and lots, like basically my whole body weight in chocolate. And I have, of course, 2 Easter chocolatey bits here ready to go, and I may be picking up a couple more when I pop out to the shops later today. Now, my mum got me an all-time favourite, Lindt Easter rabbit. I absolutely love these. I just really like the Lindt milk chocolate. It's, you know, such a crowd pleaser. You cannot go wrong with a Lindt Easter bunny, so I will be tucking into this a little bit later. And I also picked up something really sweet and pretty from our little local bakery that also does kind of handmade chocolates, really beautiful stuff. And I thought that this would be the perfect thing for a knitting vlog. And this is a beautiful little white chocolate lamb. It's so sweetly decorated. You can see that the face has kind of been coloured in, and they've even put a tiny ribbon around its neck. Just so adorable. So I'm going to try this later. I'm going to tell you what it's like. But yeah, couldn't resist this one. Sitting here eating this with a cup of tea and working on my knitting just sounds like heaven this weekend. Now, the first thing I want to show you knitting wise is a little pattern that I've been working on. Every spring and summer I get really obsessed with raffia bags. I just feel like a big kind of raffia bag to take to the supermarket, sort of loading it up with loads of fruit and veggies. There's just something very kind of chic and very cool about that. But I have a bit of a gap in my wardrobe as I do not have a spring-summer raffia bag for the evening. You know, it's something a little bit smaller that can just sort of fit your lipstick and your phone and your purse. So I was looking through lots of different images online and I kind of came up with an idea for my perfect kind of summer evening raffia bag. And I've got actually quite far into it now. I'll show you a little bit of it here. But I'm just doing a really simple kind of textured stitch that is repeated over several lines. So the stockinette stitch makes up quite a lot of the body, but then you can just see that there is this sort of yarn over textured effect stitch. And raffia is a really interesting material to knit with. I definitely think it might be one of those ones that is better for crochet, but I had this roll of raffia in my stash for ages, and it's very weird to work with because it just tends to unravel on itself all the time. But I was absolutely determined to make something with it. So yeah, I've cast on this little bag. It's going to be small and probably rectangular, maybe about this long, and just have 2 tiny little kind of hand straps. So rather than it being a shoulder bag, because I have made a couple of those in the past, I felt like a little sort of tiny bag to hold on to in my hand in the evening would be very cute. Or maybe slip over on my arm. But yeah, that's the idea. And I've shown you the close-up, but I think from far away it really does look good, especially with black. There's something very kind of clean and crisp about it. But yeah, raffia is a challenging material. If you look at it, you can see it is kind of just like a paper ribbon. And if you pull at the sort of ribbony strands, they do rip almost exactly like paper. So you have to be kind of careful when you plunge your needle in that you don't break that ribbon sort of structure. But so far that hasn't been a problem, and I haven't had to tie together any bits from any ripping. But it is quite heavy going on your fingers. When you're slipping it sort of between the two needles, it feels, yeah, pretty kind of scratchy and coarse. But that aside, I am really, really happy with the way that it is turning out. I feel like it is a very unique and particular textile that works really, really well for bags, probably because it holds its shape quite firmly. You can see I can pull it around a little bit, but it doesn't really want to stretch that much, which I think will make it a really, really good option for a little handbag. Now, just like my petite knit bag that I knit in the winter a couple of years ago, I am going to line it with this gorgeous sort of ecru floral material. You can see there are tiny little blue flowers all over it. I think that this will be really sweet and very kind of spring-like for this little piece. And you'll just see a pop of that pattern when you open it up. But from the other side, it is just plain, so it won't show any of the pattern through it. I'll actually just try and hold it kind of underneath it so I can get a better look at how it would turn out. I've just moved the camera over here so that I can show you this beautiful fabric in the daylight. It's really dark and dreary here, so I do have my ring light on when I do my talking, but I feel like it doesn't completely do the fabrics and the colours justice. But yeah, the texture of this is something that I am really, really happy with. I feel like it's still very minimalist and simple, but it has something that is just a little bit more eye-catching. It's not a difficult stitch to master at all, so it will be, hopefully, a pretty beginner-friendly pattern. But yeah, I haven't made a pattern in ages, so I'm actually really excited about this one. I'll just zoom you in to show you what it will look like when I've got that lining in it. And there you can see it a little bit more up close. If I grab the lining and try and fold it in strategically, you may be able to see from the outside it doesn't really change the appearance of the bag too much, but it just has a subtle sort of white background in between all of those yarn over holes. However, from a wearer's perspective, it will kind of look like that. Which, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the match of this. And this is just a lining fabric that I had left over from my other bag, the little petite knit clutch that I showed you in my last video. But it's so, so cute. It's just 100% cotton and yeah, just a really sweet, slightly boho sort of design that I'm really, really excited to make into a little lining. I do have my sewing machine, so I will be sewing that up on the sewing machine, but I'm going to try and make the instructions for the lining as simple as possible, so if you don't have a sewing machine, hopefully you'll still be able to whip together a little lining. However, because this raffia is really quite firm, I don't actually feel it would stretch that much if you filled it with stuff. It really doesn't have much movement at all, and when you look at the sort of fibre strands, you can pull them and they don't stretch. Yeah, it's just a very unusual material that I've never used before, and it's fiddly, but now I do feel like I've got the hang of it and I am quite enjoying using it. As some people may find the idea of using raffia a little bit daunting, I am also going to make a version of this probably in a cotton, maybe in a darker colour. I'll have to have a look at my wardrobe and decide what I think would work better. Now, another thing I'm really excited about arrived this week from the folks over at Jack Gomme in this lovely big dust bag. Now, you might remember at a similar time last year, I got their lovely little Lyris bag. This is in this gorgeous shiny material. I have used this honestly almost every day since I got it. I cannot stress enough just how versatile this little bag is. It kind of is a very easily adjustable strap. It just takes this gorgeous shape when it's full that I really, really like. It's very comfortable against my body and it's just held up so well. Honestly, there are no obvious signs of wear on it at all, which I'm really impressed by. And I like how the shiny material just adds a little bit of texture and interest into my more boring outfits. Because I am a huge fan of black, I mean, look at what I'm wearing today. I feel like, what is it that's saying on the videos that I sometimes see on Instagram and TikTok? I think it's something like, if an outfit isn't interesting through colour, it has to be interesting through shape, and if it isn't interesting through shape, it has to be interesting through texture. So that is what I've got going on here. A lot of texture, even if it is all one colour. And so when they reached out to me and they said that they were going to be sending me another one of their beautiful bags, I decided to go for the kind of big sister version, in my opinion, of this. And I went for what is called their Lunar Half Moon bag. I'll just bring it out and give you a good look of it. I'll give you a quick peek of the inside before I put anything in. It's got this lovely big pocket and I just really, really like this grey fabric for the lining. Very, very subtle but very pretty. But the one thing that really stood out to me about this is actually this huge buckle. This is tortoiseshell, and as you know, I'm obsessed with tortoiseshell. But yeah, I just feel like there's something very cool and kind of utilitarian looking about this. It adds just, again, a little bit of interest to what is otherwise a very simple and classic bag. Now let me put my stuff in it and I can show you how it looks full. Of course I have my comb, my special comb that I go nowhere without. I've got my purse in here that is this huge, massive, chunky one. And then a little powder compact. My phone that I'm going to put inside this inner pocket for easy access. Of course, my lipstick. I will tell you more about this lipstick in a minute because this is actually part of my bridal makeup planning, which is very, very exciting. Really loving a black on black outfit at the moment. I just feel like it always makes me feel put together, even when I don't know what to wear. But I'm just wearing these with my Uniqlo burgundy velvet cords. These are so, so comfy. I absolutely adore them. And I've still got the tag on it, so let me just cut that off. Alright, I've just put you way back into my kitchen area so I can try and give you the full effect of this outfit, because this is going to be my Easter Sunday lunch outfit when we go for a little walk after eating copious amounts of chocolate. We have the Tonight top, of course you guys know all about the Tonight top, and a swooshy little kind of maxi skirt. On my feet I have ballerinas that you probably can't really see, as my flat is sort of awful for showing you my full outfit. It's just way too small. But how perfect does my new bag look with this outfit? I mean, guys, if I do say so myself, I really, really, really love this look. Yeah, let me just get some shades to finish it off. But now I look at it, and I have watched The Matrix recently. They are maybe a bit The Matrix, but I don't know. You be the judge. As usual, I will link everything in the description down below if you are interested in checking anything out that I've talked about today. The kind folks at Jack Gomme have also given us a very generous discount code, so if you are looking for a new spring and summer bag, just have a sneak peek. Their stuff is really, really lovely and such impeccable quality. Now, as I have my Tonight top on, I thought it might also be a good moment to show you what I'm doing with the leftover yarn from this lovely project. Now, you will know, I've spoken about it a million times. This is the We Are Knitters Baby Alpaca, or Alpaca Baby. Anyway, one of those two. And I am currently in the process of making a little triangle scarf. You can see the beginning of it here. Now, the reason why this has taken me so long is because I have just wanted for ages to make a really, really simple, fully reversible triangle scarf. I just think they look very sort of effortless and really kind of comfy for the spring when the weather is super unpredictable. You never know if you're going to be cold when you step outside in just sort of a cotton shirt. So I am always struggling with this weather. And a little grey scarf that I can wrap around. I mean, you can't see it here because it's the same yarn, but a little grey scarf that I can wrap around me for this time of year is ideal. However, it's taken me absolutely ages because I was quite unhappy with my first few iterations of it. Now this one I am going to continue knitting. I've just put it on hold here so that I could use the needles to do a swatch of something else that I wanted to test. But it is completely reversible, so it's the same on both sides, and it's essentially created by doing double knitting. My first larger iteration of this was quite different, and it wasn't completely reversible, but you can see I had done quite a lot of it. So that did take me a really long time on 3.5mm needles, which, yeah, is part of the reason why I haven't had much to show you recently, because I have been sort of driven mad by this grey scarf, if you can believe it. You'd think, oh, it's so simple, it's just a little triangle scarf. Yes, you would think so, but no. Apparently triangle scarves have the ability to drive me completely bonkers. This, unfortunately, is going to be unravelled. It did look nice, but I just couldn't stop it from curling. Because I wanted it to be a simple stockinette scarf, it was really important that it held its shape, and this one sadly has not. The more that I've knit it, the more I've realised I'm never going to be able to get it to really hold its shape. So from this, which was draft sort of 1 or 2, to this, which was 3 or 4, you can see quite a significant difference in the way that the bottoms of those are hanging. So I hope I finally cracked it. And next time I speak to you, I reckon I will have a bit more progress on this, but it may be one of those ones that I just kind of knit a little bit of and eventually finish, because it is kind of a bit of an infuriating knitting project, as the double knitting means it looks absolutely beautiful, but it does also take a really long time. Fingers crossed though that this is going to be worth all of that time and effort and aggravation, because this one definitely was not. And as promised, in my bag I have a lipstick that I am trying out currently for my wedding. I've tried out a few different shades of lipstick from Chanel, yes, fancy lady, but I just really love the formula of a lot of Chanel lipsticks, and this one is a strong contender. This is the, what is it called? Rouge Cocoa Flash in the shade Easy. It's quite a cool toned lipstick. I'll just try a little bit of it on here. I'll put it on my hand too. So you can see it's quite sheer. It's sort of like a balm, but it is very shiny and kind of glossy. It's just a really lovely kind of smooth formula. And I quite like the way it looks, but I'm not completely sure if it isn't actually maybe a bit too cool toned for me. I think day to day it could be nice, but I wonder if for my wedding I don't need to go for something extra pinky and kind of sweet and that sort of whole blushing bride look. But yeah, this is a new lipstick I'm trying out. Part of the fun for me so far of getting married, we've booked the venue and we've got loads of stuff ready to go. We've got the food, the venue, and we're just finalising a few other details, and then we're going to send the invites probably in the next couple of weeks. I'm so excited. But a huge part of the fun for me has actually been being able to treat myself to a few lovely bits of makeup, as I am going to be doing my own makeup. I probably won't be doing my own hair because I'm pretty rubbish at hair. But makeup, I think, I just want to look like myself, but a little bit more blushy and a little bit more glowy. But yeah, really fun so far, and I will keep you posted on all of the wedding updates. I will also give you a look, actually, of my ring. Wait one sec, I've actually got it on the wrong way around. Silly me. Just because some of you were asking about it, and I realised I'd never shown it to you on YouTube up close. Forgive the lipstick swatch that I was just showing you, but there it is. It is kind of like a signet style. It has just a really thin, beautiful band. It's gold and it's printed like a Renaissance florin, so the coin of Florence. I really love it. Florence has always been one of my favourite places in Italy, so he chose really, really well. And I feel like it's just very unique and very me. So yeah, this is still something I'm so excited about, and I love sharing little bridal bits with you, so I hope that you enjoy that too, and I will keep you posted with more of our planning. Once we have the invitations out, I'm going to try and show you some pictures of the venue because it's really, really, really nice.